Hello everyone, Grandpa Ron here again. Got a rainy day outside, so it's a good day to be in. Hope you're all well and happy. We're going to get back into our very basic Bible study again today. And we're going to look at Genesis chapter 18. So let's jump in. Verse 1. Now the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre while he was sitting at the tent door in the heat of the day. Now we're talking about Abraham here. The Lord appeared to Abraham, and he's sitting in front of his tent, which indicates that nomadic, they moved around a lot. He wasn't locked down into a city or anything like that. And it was a hot day. Verse 2, and when he lifted up his eyes and looked, behold, 3 men were standing opposite him. And when he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass your servant by. This was, I don't think he recognized any of these as the Lord. This is a title of respect, sir. They probably looked like they were well-to-do. And at that time, it was a courtesy to be hospitable, invite them in, provide them some refreshment, visit a little while. And so he was doing just that. Even today in some countries, people would give a complete stranger their best just by way of hospitality. And so he asked them to come in for a little bit. Verse 4. Please let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree, and I will bring a piece of bread that you may refresh yourselves. After that you may go on, since you have visited your servant. And they said, So do as you have said. So he's offering them the refreshments and beverage and clean up, refresh yourselves. In verse 6. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, Quickly, prepare 3 measures of fine flour, knead it, and make bread cakes. Abraham also ran to the herd and took a tender and choice calf and gave it to the servant, and he hurried to prepare it. And he took curds and milk and the calf which he had prepared and placed it before them, and he was standing by them under the tree as they ate. Wow, this is a little more than a piece of bread and a soft drink, a Coke. This is he's lavishing on them some real treats here. And if they're preparing a goat, you've got to realize that there's quite a bit of time going by here. It takes a while. I mean, they would have to butcher and skin and cook that goat. So we're talking about hours that are passing by here. Verse 9. Then they said to him, Where is Sarah your wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. Now, they're going to realize that one of these 3 men is the Lord himself, because he's already knows Sarah's name. They haven't been introduced. And there are going to be some other things that indicate that one of these 3 is the Lord himself, the Lord Jesus himself. And he said, I will surely return to you at this time next year, and behold, Sarah your wife shall have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door, which was behind him. So here's another statement. You're predicting the future. I'm going to come back next year and you'll have a son." Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age, and Sarah was past childbearing. And Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I have become old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also?" Why she laughed is debatable, but it could be just chuckling to herself, "Boy, this is going to be pretty cool, at my age, having a child." Or it could be that she was doubtful and laughed. "Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm going to have a child next year." And the Lord, verse 13, "And the Lord said to Abram, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I indeed bear a child when I am old?" So now they're getting to see this guy actually read my mind here. And he says, "Is anything too difficult for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you at this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son." So it's clear by now that this is the Lord speaking. Before he's taken on the form of a man, hundreds of years later, he's appearing to Abraham and Sarah, and this interchange is going on. Verse 15. Sarah denied it, however, saying, "I did not laugh," for she was afraid. She knew who she was speaking to now. And he said, "No, but you did laugh." God's very gracious, but he not going to let her get away with saying, "No, I didn't laugh." He knew. 16. Then the men rose up from there and looked down toward Sodom, and Abraham was walking with them to send them off. And the Lord said, this is to himself, the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do, since Abraham will surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth will be blessed? For I have chosen him in order that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, in order that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him." So the Lord is saying this to himself so that it can be recorded for our benefit. The Lord knows what's going on, but he's sharing this with us so that we'll know what's going on. And he's saying, Abraham is my friend. Am I going to hide from him what's going on? Or am I going to reveal what I'm about to do so that he can learn how I operate faced with sin and unbelief, so that he can learn? Verse 20. And the Lord said, "The outcry of Sodom and Gomorrah is indeed great, and their sin is exceedingly grave. I will go down now and see if they have done entirely according to its outcry, which has come to me, and if not, I will know." Well, the Lord knows what the sin is, but again, this is being recorded for our benefit, so that we can realize that God doesn't do anything prematurely. He is a just and righteous God, and he's going to have all the facts before he passes judgment. And so this little exchange here is revealing that he's going to get all the facts. He knows all the facts already, but he's condescending to mankind and our mentality in terms that we can understand, so that we realize he's going to have all the facts before he passes judgment. Verse 22. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, while Abraham was still standing before the Lord. Now we're going to learn that these men were angels, and in the next chapter. So whether they walked all the way there or just poof appeared there, we don't know. But they headed that way. And Abraham came near and said, "Wilt thou indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will thou indeed sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it?" Abraham demonstrates care for the people there, and he doesn't want the Lord to get a bad reputation by acting prematurely and destroying righteous people when they don't deserve it. So he's pretty bold in what he's saying to the Lord, even though it's clear he's trying to walk on eggshells on this. But the Lord is going to reply to him. Verse 25, "Far be it from thee to do such a thing, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked are treated alike. Far be it from thee, shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly?" So the Lord said, "If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare the whole place on their account." Verse 27, "And Abraham answered and said, Now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord, although I am but dust and ashes. Suppose the 50 righteous are lacking 5. Will they destroy the whole city because of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. And Abraham goes on, walking on eggshells again. And he spoke to him yet again and said, Suppose 40 are found there. And he said, I will not do it on account of the 40. Verse 30. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 20. Verse 32. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak only this once. Suppose 10 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 10. And as soon as he had finished speaking to Abraham, the Lord departed, and Abraham returned to his place. Basically, the Lord saying, I can't even find 10 righteous people there. So this is setting up the next chapter, the actual destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. But we've noted quite a few things here. The Lord is righteous and just. He gets all the facts. He doesn't act prematurely. He has restated in here the promise that Sarah's going to have a child by the time, this time next year. Abraham has demonstrated his love for people, his concern for God, and his integrity and reputation. And now we're going to see how this all plays out in the next chapter. The other thing we need to remember is that Lot is one of the men in Sodom. And we're going to see that in the next chapter too. But clearly Abraham's concern surely would include his concern for Lot, his nephew. Anyway, this was a short in one sense, and it's going to set up the encounter with Sodom and Gomorrah in the next chapter. I hope it's been meaningful to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.